Week 18 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few hitties I look to drop this week. The first guy, Henry Davis of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Henry Davis, one of the top prospects in Major League Baseball this season, coming up for the Pirates the last month or two here. But he really hasn't done much here, is Henry Davis. So right now, while he hasn't done much, and I know he qualifies to catcher and plays outfield mostly now for this Pittsburgh Pirate team, he's still not a player I would look to hold on to. On the season, 5 home runs, 15 RBIs, 19 runs scored, 3 stolen bases, a 219 average, and a 313 on base. But the last month of the season, we haven't seen much from him. 4 home runs, 8 RBIs, 9 runs scored, a 188 average, and a 301 on base. So right now, it's pretty much a home run, a walk, or an out here for Henry Davis. No in between, low batting average. And to dig even deeper, the last 2 weeks, an 068 average with a home run and 4 RBIs. So right now, he's not getting the job done. I know this Pirate team, they're out of it, obviously, behind 6 teams in the wild card, and Davis is still going to get an everyday opportunity and batting cleanup right now for this team. But right now, he's not really a player I would trust in fantasy baseball. But definitely next season, I think he could turn the corner in a full season with the Pirates here. But the last few games, August 3rd at Milwaukee, 0 for 4. August 4th at the Brewers, 2 for 5, a homer, 2 RBIs. August 5th at the Brewers, 0 for 4. August 6th at the Brewers, and that one 0 for 4. And August 7th, 1 for 3 with a run and a rib versus the Braves. So right now, not getting the job done really is Henry Davis. He could turn the corner, but I'm not going to wait for him, especially here in the stretch run with 4 weeks before most playoffs here for fantasy owners. So right now, Davis is a hitter I would drop this week, but definitely a hitter to keep an eye on because he could always turn the corner as well here is Henry Davis. But right now, he's droppable. The next hitter, Jack Suwinski of the Pittsburgh Pirates. So he's pretty much a home run, a walk, or an out as well, and a high strikeout rate on the season for Suwinski. On the year, 21 home runs though, 53 RBIs, 43 runs scored, 7 stolen bases, a 215 average, and a 336 on base. But the last month of the season, I'm not going to give up a lot of batting average just for some power. On the last month, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 3 runs scored, a 131 average, and a 206 on base. So right now, that's not cutting it with the low batting average, and only the 2 home runs in the month, where I know Suwinski's a 30 home run potential guy, no doubt about it. But right now, he's not showing power. He's not hitting the baseball good. He's not seeing it good. And there's no reason for fantasy owners to hold on to him, because I will sacrifice average for power, but not to this extent at this time of the year where now every game is crucial in matchup for fantasy owners. August 3rd at the Brewers, 0 for 3, a rib. August 4th at the Brewers, 0 for 4, run. August 5th, he sat out. August 6th at the Brewers, 0 for 3. And August 7th versus the Braves, 0 for 2 with a run in that one. So right now, Suwinski, he's not producing. He's not even showing power, which is his specialty. And he's an easy hitter to get away from this week as well. No doubt about it, he could catch heat as well and go on a home run tear. But he's pretty much all or nothing. And right now, while it's nothing you're getting from Suwinski, he's a hitter I look to drop this week. It is Geraldo Perdomo of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So yes, he made the All-Star team, but his numbers, they were inflated in the first 2 months of the season. Now, we really haven't seen much out of him. He's pretty much been an on-base guy, and he'll steal some bases here and there, but that's about it on the season. 5 home runs, 37 RBIs, 48 runs scored, 13 stolen bases, a 267 average, and a 369 on base. But the last month of the season, no home runs, 4 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, 11 runs, a 247 average, and a 333 on base. So Perdomo, I'll give him that. He gets on base a lot. He'll steal about 20-25 bases when the season's all said and done. But he's not really doing much here, and even fantasy owners have dropped him in 3% of fantasy leagues over the last few days. He does qualify at second, third, and short, which is great versatility, and that's why maybe owners want to hold on to him a little bit more. But right now, if I was a Perdomo owner, I would drop him off my fantasy team, because he's pretty much been a singles hitter and a guy who will draw a walk, and that's about it for the most part. August 1st at the Giants, 1 for 3. August 2nd at the Giants, 1 for 4, run. August 3rd at the Giants, 1 for 4. August 4th at the Twins, 1 for 5. August 5th at the Twins, 0 for 4. August 6th at the Twins, 0 for 2. So right now, we're not seeing much from Perdomo in the last few weeks here, and he's not really a player producing. And like I said, he's only a singles hitter, which it's not going to translate a lot in points league if he's only going to hit singles for the most part, and walks as well in points league and even category leagues. It's not going to bring much to fantasy owners. So right now, while he's been on a good run this season and had a surprising year, he's fizzled out, and he's a hitter I would drop this week. Next hit is Starlin Marte of the New York Mets. So Starlin Marte, last season, he was a great addition to the New York Mets signing that 4-year deal, but this season he's totally went the opposite way, and he looks like a total bust. I know he does have 24 stolen bases, but besides that, he's brought nothing to fantasy owners. 5 home runs, 28 RBIs, 24 stolen bases, 38 runs scored, a 248 average, and a 301 on base. And now over the last month of the season, he's been banged up. He had a migraine. He was on the injured list over the last few weeks. Then he came back for a few ball games with Marte, and now he was placed on the injured list once again yesterday with a groin issue. So with the Mets out of it, obviously, they're pretty much playing no names for the most part, even sending Brett Beatty down to the minor leagues, where this team's just treading water to end the season with guys you pretty much never heard of at this point here. Starling Marte, it wouldn't be surprising to me if he sits out at least to September or the rest of the season here. So right now, well, he's done nothing this season besides steal bases, and everything else he's been a disappointment in. He's an easy hitter to drop this week, and the fifth and final hitter I look to drop this week's Leody Taveras of the Texas Rangers. So Taveras, he's one of those hitters that he was good for a couple months, but I think his fantasy value ran its course now, and he's pretty much a mid player at best on the season. 11 home runs, 50 RBIs, 11 stolen bases, 51 runs scored, a 275 average, and a 317 on base. But the last month of the season, he virtually hasn't done anything for fantasy owners. 1 home run, 10 RBIs, 8 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, a 209 average, and a 242 on base. And he's been overpowered over the last month of the season as well here, striking out 25 times in 86 at-bats, so that's not a good ratio. The league scored up to Taveras a little bit more, giving him more breaking ball stuff, because he's a dead red fastball hitter, and that's a lot of the pitches he was getting, obviously, batting low in the stacked Texas Ranger offense. But right now, teams that paid attention more to Taveras, and over the last month of the season, he's really fizzled out for fantasy owners. August 2nd versus the White Sox, 1 for 5 a run. August 3rd versus the White Sox, 0 for 4. August 4th versus the Marlins, 2 for 3 a run and a rib. August 5th versus the Marlins, 1 for 4 a run. And August 6th versus the Marlins, 1 for 3. So right now, he's not hitting for power. He's not stealing bases, driving in runs. And like I said, that strikeout rate is up there for Leody Taveras. So right now, he's not really a hitter I'm going to want on my fantasy team. No doubt about it, he could get hot and get going again. But he's got to make adjustments and learn how to hit that off-speed ball and lay off some of the junk in the dirt. So that's a few hitters I look to drop here. And already week 18 of the fantasy baseball season.